The most exciting thing was, I think, when we got the goats.
The most the animals I was most excited about was Ginger and Opal.
You see that right there? That is the man who has no idea what he is doing. Yep, there I am getting ready to birth baby goats. Thank God for my wife Angela. I'm just fumbling through the birthing process. Right about now I'm thinking to myself, how did I end up here? Maybe you're wondering the same, and why I decided on these goats. Well, pull up a chair and let me take you back a bit. Not to why we decided to homestead, that's for another story. But why we chose these goats and how we got to this point. When we bought our home, it was pretty much an empty canvas. No structures, no barns, just a home, a garage, and open fields. Once upon a time, there were tractors, a barn, even cows and pigs. Farming isn't great in this old patch of land. But back to why we chose goats. We decided in March of 2020 that we wanted to bring our food close to home. We wanted a more self-reliant lifestyle while teaching our children some skills that we didn't want to see forgotten. We worked down the list of things we wanted in our first year and how we could manage with what we had. And on that list, milk. With no structures or barns and very little farming experience, I took a pass on the cow. We weren't ready to commit to 1,000-pound Bessie. But next on the list, goats. We came across the Nigerian dwarf, a smaller goat maxing at 75 pounds, with great tasting and easily digestible milk. Udders were a good size considering, and not too shabby on their food bill. We were set, and went right to work doing our research, and we found our goats, Opal and Ginger. So I went to work on building them something to live in. Goats are foragers, and we had a lot of land that they could eat. So I needed something I could move them around in. It was gonna be perfect. The result? The pasture goatmobile. We set up our electric netting, and when the day came, we were so excited. Let's go grab the goats, buddy. You ready? I remember it like it was yesterday. We had rabbits and chickens, but this was a big one for us. We drove out to get them across the old country roads. We loaded our gals up and they were so quiet and docile. Oh, it was so exciting. Well, we got them home and settled, and it didn't take long for us to figure out the goats were masters of escaping, and they did not like to be alone. Extremely attaching. It was a learning experience, but our determination was strong, and Opal and I quickly became the best of buds and worst of enemies, all at the same time. It took some time for us to work out our new relationship and how it was supposed to work, but eventually I gave in and built them a real fenced-in area.
Alright, bud. I know, so why are you in there? Hey, why are you...
But through it all, we became partners. We worked the land, respected each other, and we learned to work together. We knew this was our path, and that we were going to need to grow the herd. If what we wanted to accomplish was going to work, we would need more goats. So we decided on 7. 7 gals to complete our herd. The time came, we had our girls bred, and fingers crossed with prayers that they would produce a couple does that we could keep. And that brings us right back to the stalls. Here I am, waiting for new life. The very first goat babies of our farm. Ginger went into labor on the coldest day in winter and had 2 healthy baby does. How perfect. First set that we knew we were going to keep, and we were right there ready to welcome our new partners. Ginger's babies put our minds at ease in the process, and the new babies took right to her. Now, we just needed Opal's babies. So we waited about a couple more days after Ginger. She finally went into labor. It was pretty smooth in comparison. Baby 1, baby 2, and even baby 3. All does. 7 does. Exactly the number we wanted. It was amazing to be a part of such a beautiful experience. In all the commotion, we noticed that one of the goats wasn't responding. It was a small 1.5 pound little goat showing no signs of life. I went into action and gave it my best go. I rubbed that goat's chest, blew air into its nostrils for a good 30 minutes. I always wondered if I had what it took to be a decent farmer. This year I processed my own food and meat, which means I had to take some life. And now here I was, praying that I could do something to restore life. I think this is what it means to be a farmer, fulfilling a purpose set back in the book of Genesis to be a caretaker over God's creation. To all my efforts, I eventually accepted the fact that this little gal wasn't going to make it. She was pretty, looked just like her mama, and I called her 7. We buried her in the herb garden so she would always be a part of this farm. But where there is death, there is also new life, and this is the way of the farm.